Welcome to the Oddfrog Chop Shop, your one-stop podcast for all things toy, design, collectible, comic book, video game, movies, pop culture, and more. And now please welcome your hosts, Kelly Greenwood and Eddie Hermosillo.
What up, Instagram? Yeah, I'm guessing I'm gonna repost this one, so I guess I should be talking. Anyway, we're gonna talk with Oddfrog and 112th Street Chop Shop. We're gonna find out about what's going on with these fellas. We're gonna see what's going on, and we're not here. We're not here to make a decision for any of you. We're not here to say that you guys should back these guys or whatever. That's for you guys to decide. So we're here tonight, so you guys can make that decision. So we can ask the questions that we all want to ask. So there's not very many of you here, and I'm gonna say it over and over again, but we're gonna let them. Once everyone's in, we're gonna have a Redeemer speak for a minute. And then we're going to let the Oddfrog guys talk for a little bit. Then we're going to ask some questions. Then we're going to open the floor up for all of you guys to ask questions at the end. And we're going to try and do this in under an hour. So hopefully everybody that wants to be here will show up. And let me get some invites going. There we go. Get the invite set out to people that are supposed to be here. Oddfrog, I believe you're already in the chat. We'll bring you in a minute. Just hold on. Just waiting for people to show up. Hopefully we don't have any no-shows tonight. Redeemer thought it was like 2 in the afternoon for him, and I told him that it's later, way much, much later for you. So hopefully you got that message. What are we doing, Davey? Let's see, we got YVG to Davey, Insightful Energy, Mac Photo Joe's, Tattoo Dewey, Louis Torres, and Ostradamus Toys. What's up, guys? Ostradamus Toys. Sorry, I said that wrong. Are we doing Think Tank Toys? We're just waiting for all the people to show up here. Let's see. We're bringing these guys right now.
On a hot time.
Yeah, there we go. What's up, fellas?
What's up? Going on, man?
Well, let's keep it light at the moment. We're waiting for some people. Let's just, let's just BS, get some shit. What's going on? Is that an old school Castle Grayskull there? Oh, that looks really small.
Yeah, no, it's actually the Skeletor's big.
Oh, okay.
I got my hands on I think he's like 11 and a half or something.
So you got the original Skele God.
Yeah, kind of. But yeah, that's the Castle Grayskull is not the one I had from when I was a kid, but I was going on a jog around the neighborhood at my grandparents' place, and there was a yard sale, and it was $5. I asked the lady how much, and there was Snake Mountain and Castle Grayskull there, and she's like, $5. I'm like, each? She's like, no, both, but just do it before my husband gets home. So
Yeah.
somebody somewhere was probably mad, but
Yeah, I bet somebody was. Let's see here.
yeah.
Well,
We can plug it in if we have to. We might have to.
well, we'll give everybody a few minutes. Like I said, I already told you guys I want to keep this under an hour,
Yeah.
or just right around an hour. But if I was pretty sure they were going to show up. It's not quite 5 yet, so we'll give them a few minutes. But if you guys want to start by explaining your situation with 112 Garage, we can do that.
Sure.
But let me invite a bunch of people just to come watch the live real fast.
Absolutely.
Want to get as many people as we can to hear your guys' story.
Yeah, that would be great. Yeah.
I'm just going to send this out to everybody.
Everybody.
Sorry, everybody.
For the black.
Well, like you said, we're still early.
Yeah, we're a little bit early. That's fine. I don't like to start late, so I started early.
What I always say, bro.
Yeah, if you're not early, you're late. That's what Eddie says.
I say it all.
Dude, if you're always on time, you're never on time.
Exactly.
You know,
My boss doesn't understand that because my boss is always late.
nah, you got to be there early, be there on time, just because you got to take into consideration, unforeseen circumstances.
Yeah.
My shit's still on.
I'm probably sending this invite to so many people that don't give a flying fuck. I'm just going down the list here.
Looks like it's filling up.
Yeah, I can't even see the screen, so.
It's like 14. Not how many we were expecting, but I'm always.
Well, it is a Friday night, and it's a little bit early for a Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, I wanted to get this done, and, we can do more in the future. We'll see how many people hop in. Hello, lights, camera, action figures.
Oh, next week, we're all for it, man. We'll have it, the prototype in hand, and we have a number of figures. I mean, we have Mattel figures, a couple of the He-Man series. I have a ton of Mezcos, a bunch of Legends, G.I. Joes, all our target size, so once we get it here by Wednesday, I mean, hopefully, like I said, things will rev back up.
So you're saying Wednesday you're gonna have the prototype in hand?
Yeah.
Yes.
It should. I mean, yeah. Again, we posted that picture. That's I got updated email. It got picked up yesterday, so it's en route. And yeah, we paid the extra to have it here by next week. So Wednesday is the projected date, between like 11 and 2 p.m. Pacific.
Nice.
Yeah, and we're. I mean, I know you probably have to work all day too, but I know we'll want to go live or something like that and do something. Yeah. But Eddie's got a bunch of Mezcos, and I've got G.I. Joes, and we're gonna be cramming it full of everything. I want to do like an unboxing in a way, and just kind of let everybody in on the whole process. I mean, we don't know what we're gonna find shipping it here from Shenzhen, but I still think it'll be fun to do like an unboxing with it, and be there to let everybody know, hey, this is our first time playing with it too. So I think that could be fun. And I don't know if you guys can go live on YouTube or whatever, but we'd invite anybody that wanted to come on and talk about it for sure.
So you're gonna do that on YouTube, huh?
We'll probably try to do both.
We have access where we do a podcast. It's called Riverside FM, and it's literally, we can send a link out and people can even just join that link. Mm-hmm. And I mean, we can just kind of like hang out, and it can be recorded. It doesn't have to be recorded, but it's like an open room.
And it'll be live, and it's live on YouTube, and we can do live on Facebook
as well.
Okay.
Instagram. So,
and there's no limit to like how many people log in. There might be, but it's not like 10. It's more than 4.
Yeah.
Let's say that.
All right. Cool. All right. Well, let's just go ahead and get started here, and you guys go ahead and explain what your
But
relationship with 112th Garage was,
okay,
and
so
where you're at with that now, and why.
from the beginning, I guess, you know, we both graduated from Otis, but soon after graduating, I was just looking through Instagram, and, you know, just I don't know, just looking through the feeds and whatnot, looking through toy pictures, toy photography, collector stuff and whatnot. I had just recently gotten into Mezco, collecting Mezco, GI Joes and whatnot. So I stumbled across the 112 Garage page. I saw that he had done like a mock-up way back when, and then he had this whole idea of bringing a line of 112 scale vehicles, and started to put out renders, and he had a website, and this was all him before even us reaching out, right? He had everything all set up, right? And then I was looking at, I was like, man, this guy's, you know, he was generating hype. People were into it. And I was like, this is a genius idea if executed properly. So us as a young design company, you know, we're both freelance designers looking for gigs and making money, you know, starting our own business. I reached out to him and I was like, yo, we sent him like a legit like product pitch of some of the designs that we put his logo on our designs, and we made the pitch to him like, this is what, you know, what we can elevate.
This is after he was already on Big Bad Toy Store. Like,
he had
a design and
he
stuff.
had that design that he had like showed Big Bad Toy Store, but once he secured the deal with us, like as designers, and we had the direct connection to manufacturing, he had no idea how to even get it manufactured to get it started. But, you know, he had sold all these pre-orders. And then once we were on board, I was like, yeah, we can make it happen. We can manufacture it. We have them ready. We gave him quotes. We gave him estimates. We gave him production schedules. And when time came up to pay for the design work and the prototype, he, you know, things kind of started getting sketchy. And, but, you know, that's why we were all on board, because we were like, I mean, the idea was genius. I mean, there's no denying it that a line of 112 scale vehicles geared towards action figures is a genius idea, you know? So we were all on board. We were pushing the idea. He had all kinds of funds. People were buying into it. So we were believing like, yeah, he had the money to, you know, begin the tooling, begin the process. And then we were off. So when we sent him our invoices and he was kind of sketchy and iffy, and we were like, you know, we gave him like a 2-week ultimatum. And if you even go back on 112 Garage Instagram, you'll see like on the last 3-4 posts when we like made an official statement that we no longer are doing business with them. And, you know, we're no longer affiliated in any way, shape, or form. He blocked us on all social media. I had his personal number. He probably blocked my number. I haven't tried calling him. Last I heard, Big Bad Toy Store was getting lawyers on him. I mean, he left owing us about $10,000 in design work. That's not counting for like the prototype, just the design work that we had done on his design of the Sendio, which we had to redesign from the ground up because it wasn't up to par for manufacturing. There was gaps, the thickness and the plastic wasn't there. So we had to do all that from scratch.
It wasn't actually 112 scale.
Right. So, but yeah, that's
real quick. Give me 1 second here. Give me 1 second here. I'm just gonna let everybody know what we're talking about here. There's some people in the chat that have no clue. So what's going on here is this is Oddfrog Entertainment. They have a project called 112th Street Chop Shop, and basically that's a continuation. Not, you know, I don't even want to say continuation. So they were working for 112 Garage. They had contracted these guys out to make the designs and put into production the car that 112 Garage was trying to put out.
Yeah, already had sold.
Yeah, and he had sold a bunch of pre-orders for it. I believe that guy got $90K of the community's money, and he just took that money and ran, from what I understand. I don't know exactly if anybody got anything back or whatnot. I know Redeemer knows more of the story, so I thought he was going to be here.
I know some people get refunds. I've spoken to quite a few personally via PMs and DMs on Facebook and Instagram that have gotten refunds, but there's also people who haven't. I think there was like a time period, but there's also people who've gone back and were like, yeah, even Big Bad Toy Store, they've shown evidence from Big Bad Toy Store, and a lot of people have been able to get money back. So, I mean,
Okay.
like I said, we never saw any of that money. That was all him. That was all OTG. He had all that money prior to us even being contracted.
We had to end doing work with him because we never got paid.
Exactly.
We probably held on for about a month. I mean,
way too long.
We probably only worked with them about three and a half months or something like that. And then just the date for paying us for work we'd done. And then we also needed to get our engineer paid for designing for assembly. And it's coming. There's a new account. They put a hold on it. That date came and went. And we're like, okay, you know, we had set it all up to be transferred between our business account. And then that never came. And then we weren't hearing back from him. So I basically sent him one more email saying, I got to give you a hard deadline that if we don't hear back by this date, it was some Friday. And
it was
I
like
said,
Friday in June. I remember it clearly because I was actually in Mexico. So it was like middle of June, some May, June. And yeah, we sent them that email. And
we talked about it as a team. Like nobody wanted to give up on it. I mean, we loved the project, but we were kind of out on a limb at that point because we had invested a couple of months of time working on this thing for nothing.
Pro bono.
Yeah. And then he just never got back to us. That date came and went. And we just.
And like I said, we're not the only ones. He convinced a large part of the community. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I guess we
did.
The Big
Bad Toy Store.
Yeah, he convinced them with our designs and our manufacturers, like, to book that deal.
Okay, real quick, since Redeemer got here, I wanted him to tell his part of this story because he's got a lot of back.
No,
he's got a lot of the inside scoop on this one. So, Redeemer, I'm gonna let you talk for just try and keep it under a couple minutes, would you? And I'm gonna actually run away for a second, so I'll be right back.
Howdy, everyone. How y'all doing? How's everything, dude? What's up, Ken? What's up, Eddie? How you guys doing? So, for everyone that's here, so you guys are basically talking about the OTG, right? So, my experience, man, met this guy when he started all of this and remained his friend for a couple of months. Was building rapport with this guy and just trying to keep consistent with him because I saw that so many people were super skeptical. So I did my best to maintain a genuine friendship with this dude, in which I thought was going in a good direction. Months later, he ends up, kind of like disappearing off the face of the planet. Obviously, a lot of people start to question that. And during that time, a little bit before that, he collaborated with me and it set a target on my back. So a lot of people started to contact me and I became his subconscious PR manager. So I was just, messaging people, trying to keep people's hopes up, trying to maintain the faith, and, trying to tell people that, like not giving them everything because I didn't know much details from what he was giving me. It was just like, from one hand to the other. And I was trying to maintain that, keeping people aboard. He eventually disappeared. And then that's when things started taking a downhill, pour. Started getting messages, harassment messages over time. Some people stressing, some people super frustrated, thinking that I was working with this guy. And that's when I had to detach myself from the collaboration. And in time of that, I was trying to contact him. He was not answering me. And then that's when you guys were posting up what was going on. So the issues were happening fairly at the same time, in parallel. So that's when I was leaving comments. And I was like, maybe this guy will hit me up and, we'll see what's going on. And you did. And I was like, we started talking about it. And then between talking to you, I was talking to him and he was feeding me a whole bunch of shit. And you were basically telling me what's going on. You were giving me a bunch of evidence and he was just telling me, oh man, yeah, I'm going to do something on a post. I'm going to try, and I told him, look, man, if you're being genuine about what the fuck's going on, then you need to be real with everybody. Because if everyone's pouring out money and he's like, dude, I'm telling you, like, I'm trying as hard as I can. And then he sent me the picture of the statements of $10,000 being refunded on top of 9,500 and something that was still in transit. And during that time, after he,
right?
Yeah, bro.
So
like,
some money got refunded. We have some evidence of that.
I mean, not from his direct website. Like, because if you go to his website directly, which me and a few other people purchase items from his website directly, he was technically the person you would have to deal with to get the refund. There was no middleman. It was just his thing. So it was going directly to him. So during that time, he was, after he disappeared, he was putting updates of his relationships and all this other jazz. And I was talking to you at the same time, and I was like, this is kind of like, as much as it hurts, it's matching up. And eventually led to him selling some action figures. And after I was watching this, I saw him putting updates of things that were irrelevant to what was going on. That's when I kind of like sent him a long message. And I was like, man, I don't give a shit about my $150. What I care about is the truth. Like, if you're like scamming everybody, like, you need to tell people. I don't know how you're gonna do it, but it needs to be done. And you're right, man. I need to put something up. It's just that I'm going through this. They're blaming you guys, and he was blaming you guys, saying that the whole debacle with Big Bad Toy Store, trying to basically place blame instead of where it should have been, which is on himself. And I saw that he was being super unprofessional. Eventually, when he was selling some stuff, I confronted him about what he was selling, and I was asking him if he asked him for a price of an action figure, which was a Cyberpunk Robin. I really wanted my hands on that. Told me he was selling it for $85, and I told him, look, keep the 150. Keep the 150. You're never gonna give me the vehicles. I'm not gonna get them. We're way past the point of me wanting those vehicles, man. I'll take the figure for $85, and you can pocket $70, and there you go, win-win. Dude disappeared on me. Said he was gonna refund me on Monday. Never refunded me the money. I ended up contacting one of the dudes that work with Foosh, and he was supposed to buy the figure. And I was like, look, man, I don't mean to bring you into anything, but I just want to ask you. Because he told me you were interested in the figure, so did he sell it to you? Nah, man, he told me he sold it to somebody else. And I was like, the fuck? Are you serious? So yeah. Eventually after that, he disappeared. And then when everything, like maybe a week after, some guy from Paris contacted me, super sad, super depressed, because he lent him a $500. And he was like, dude, I lent him $500. I've known him for like, a year or two. He used to send me action figures, and he never paid me back, and I really need the money. And the dude ended up sharing me with his cell phone number, his address. I wrote him a message, and I sent him a text, and I was like, you're a coward, dude. I told him, you're a coward for everything you did to everybody in the community. Karma's a bitch, and she's going to find her way to you, bro. Like, you don't understand the damage that you caused in this community with the shit that you pulled. I literally genuinely believe that you were actually a decent person, but you're a piece of shit.
We all did.
So we're all in agreement that 112th Street Garage is done for, not happening, not a thing, right?
Oddfrog.
Let's pour a little bit out for that guy.
Yeah, dude.
All right. So you guys are Oddfrog. He hired you guys, right? To elevate the product and get it into production and all that stuff. And then he never paid you guys even?
Not a dime.
They were the breadcrumbs, bro. They were the bread trail.
So what I'm thinking now is, like, you guys are in the hole.
Yeah. 10 grand.
You guys are 10 grand in the hole now.
Yeah.
That explains why you're trying to make it happen, because you did a bunch of work on it. I've been trying to go over this in my own head. I was like, why would you even try and do the same thing? Because it just doesn't make sense. But you're 10 grand in the hole, and you need that money back. I get that.
It's not.
I understand that.
It's that we said we would, and we were a young company, and it felt like our brand just got like demolished right off the bat, and it really threw us for a loop. There was probably several weeks where we were just like, well, what do we do? Do we go make club calls or something for a while, And it's like, finally we eventually came where we were like, we've put so much work into this. We were all excited about it, and just to have it disappear like that, plus our brand associated with him, it's like we just decided we were going to forget about him and move forward and actually do what we said we were going to do. And so, it became clear pretty soon after that there was certainly animosity. I mean, I think we were kind of shocked. We didn't even know he had taken that much from people and stuff like that. So we started finding out real quick that nobody was going to be happy about that, but the physical model kept coming up. So that gave us kind of the focus to just be like, okay, if that's what it takes for people to see that we really are passionate about this, we've put a lot of work into it. And like, you know, this is what we've geared our entire lives for the past several years. You know, I mean, I worked at Mattel. We both went to Otis, product design, toy design, whatever. But like, it's very important to us, and we put a lot of work into Oddfrog getting it going.
So yeah, it's not just the 10 grand, you know, it's all the time that we've put into it, into
Yeah.
our own company, into developing this, to just have him like spit on it and then, you know, and just, you know, kick it. I mean, it was a pain to us, but, you know, building that back up and bringing to market what we felt was a genuine genius idea, I think would reestablish, you know, beyond all the negativity and everything, if we were able to surpass that, you know, I think it would, you know, kind of cement us as a genuine company in a way.
So this is that karma you were speaking of, Redeemer.
That's what I said before in the last stream. I said, if you guys do this, if you're genuine about this approach and you guys do this, I said, then you guys could very well be the saving grace of this situation.
Told me that many times, man.
You know, building the Kickstarter, it's terrifying to put that kind of number up there. But what people need to realize is it's such an expensive game to get into with toys. And the level that we put in on the car as far as detail and electronics and stuff like that, like we were really going. I was telling Deadman One the other night, like we hadn't even heard of the Engine of Vengeance and had our price set essentially when it came out, and we're kind of shocked by the price because we had done a lot of numbers to come up with what we did in our own formula for it. So, you know,
for our base price.
Right. I mean, we wanted it to look good in some of these pictures that have like blurred effects and timing and time shots. It's like we wanted to design for that. So a lot went into it. And it's just, you know, like I said, at the end of the day, we said we were going to do it, and to have this whole thing fall apart like that for us and our company, the best way through it was to just do what we said we were going to do. So yeah,
that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
Okay. So when is the Kickstarter? What's the date on the Kickstarter? When does that end?
It ends January 9th. So it's, you know, not even at the 30-day mark. A majority of Kickstarters are 30 days. That's why we went with 45, because we knew we probably hit a plateau here and there. And then once we got it in hand, we would probably showcase it more with better figures. We have stuff lined up. We're doing this, you know, open panel in Long Beach, which sounds pretty cool, next week. So we knew we would have more time to like showcase it and put word out, you know, in hopes of trying to rev it back up and you know, hit that goal.
So what's the goal again? The bottom line?
Bottom line is $720,000 for the entire project. A large chunk of that actually ends up going to Kickstarter, so that's why it ended up having to be that big. But with what
take a nice percentage of that.
What we did was we tried to build into the tiers opportunity for people that wanted to buy into it more and had the funds to buy several and wanted to get like different options. We built into those tiers, and what we've noticed is the majority of the tiers are not the baseline. The baseline we think is a great offering for people that just want the car to get with their figures. But the idea of the car is to kind of extend the lifetime of it by being able to customize it. Once the car is made, we think we can, you know, kind of, at least for a while, continue to make custom parts where you can kind of further invest in making your car yours. So the fact that the tiers are there, basically what happened is the numbers we have now, I think we're at 99 back. You know, we need definitely a lot more. But the majority of people are buying into the two tiers right above that, which so if we need 720,000 at the 185 base model, we need 3,891 backers at 185. But most people are going 50, or the other one's 350, 335, 350, something like that. Most are going for those packages, which brings that number down drastically to around 2,800, give or take. So Africa Hot put it out there in one of his stories it was just so on the money because he did the math. I could see that he did the math correctly, where if people continue the trend of buying around 315 is where it averages out, it takes that number down drastically. So, and then you look at the Hasbro numbers.
At that 315, you're getting 2 cars and some custom parts. 350, yeah. You're getting 2 cars and the custom parts. So you're essentially getting two different vehicles, 2 different versions of the same vehicle.
Right. So you're going the Medco route with that. You're getting a bunch of add-ons and replacement pieces. You get one figure, but you get 13 heads in like 45 hands, 6 different guns, and a baseball bat.
But yeah, you can swap out the hood. You'll change it out. You get the steering wheel, so you don't have to buy a whole new body of a whole new car. You just customize it to however you want.
Nice.
I'm just gonna say that I could care less. I'm a break the ice on this one. I know for a fact that if y'all make it, deliver it, execute it appropriately, I know y'all gonna get rich from this. I could give a damn about that. I care about the execution. That's the point. You execute, you make the money. You deliver.
That's why we're here, because someone tried to execute it. They did it incorrectly, fucked with everybody, took a bunch of money and fucking ran.
Of course.
And these guys here are to be real with you guys, you got a stigma because of it.
Yeah.
You know, and Kelly, you hopped on the live with me the other day and started telling me your side of the story, and I felt like you needed another platform to get to just, to speak your mind and tell everybody what you've been through and where you're at now. And so that's what we're here for. I just want to make it clear again, we're not endorsing these people. We're just giving them a platform for them to. It's up to you guys. You guys need to make this decision.
Right. Yeah.
All of you out there in the chat, it's up to you. You guys need to make the decision.
And I will say, the reason doing things the way we're doing is certainly because of the experience with the garage. So with the Kickstarter, it's all or nothing, right? We did that on purpose. With Indiegogo, you can have people invest, and that's the same thing as what he did in our minds. So we went with the Kickstarter because we're serious. And we know it's a large number, but the way we kind of calculated it out is that if we could just get across that the tiers kind of help bring down that number into a realistic number, especially when you compare it, even though the Engine of Vengeance failed, a lot of people went and backed it, but a lot of people didn't back it because of the price tag. So for us, we were hoping it's more of an awareness game. And being able to have a forum and talk to you guys who, are certainly, we need you guys to kind of say, no, we talked to these guys. They really want to do this. We've partnered with a 3PL which does all the shipping once it gets from Shenzhen to here.
So hold on one second. You guys are already working on shipping.
It's all worked out, essentially. I mean, we have our 3PL. It's called iPack Delivery. We talked to the owner of the company. He's a fascinating guy. He was on Instagram Live, I think, last night and had 200 people watching.
2,000.
Oh, 2,000.
Yeah.
Okay. He's based here in Los Angeles, so he's about 25 minutes away. We're about 25 minutes away from his warehouse. And he's also partnered with UPS, which told us a lot about his brand, which also means we can go to a lot of places in the world, as long as the shipping allows it to get there, pricing wise. So, and and I mean, we've got to get insurance to get to Shenzhen, which Johnny handles getting it from their factory to iPack. They're already connected and ready to go. The only thing they don't know is how many units, like us all. So that's but he knows it's a Kickstarter, the iPack guy, I'm sorry. So, but he gets on here with us. It's a nice company. And we're set up to ship. We didn't want to ship it out ourselves. I don't want to be a shipping company. Neither does Eddie. We want to design toys, and we want to design badass toys. So
okay,
we'll let somebody what they're doing with the. Oh, That way, if there's any problems, people need it to come back and get another one, they already are aware of how to do that. We just give them SKU numbers, and they do the barcodes. They have a system, and it's iPack delivery for anybody that wants to check it out.
Well, I gotta say, with all the information you're giving us, you're being really transparent, which is important for the ordeal you've been through. So good on you for that. I wanted when is the deadline for your Kickstarter? The January 9th? That's soon.
It is fairly soon, and we know that. But like I said, once we get the prototype in our hands, we're gonna definitely be going on a much bigger campaign. But it's
and so you guys are gonna have the prototype in hand Wednesday, you said?
Wednesday.
So Thursday you guys are gonna hit up all the social medias and
no
open
one
this bad boy up.
Wednesday when we get it, we'll probably even do a live if it gets here early enough, you know. So that's the plan.
Is it charging?
All right.
Just my question here is because there are some skeptical people, right? So again, no one would essentially get charged until the product was actually made, right?
Right.
No. No one gets charged until the Kickstarter is funded. But then we need that money to get to tooling. The tooling is extremely expensive on a car that's basically 20 inches long. So the Kickstarter includes the tooling, the shipping from Shenzhen, and insurance on the shipping, and covering our design costs for our engineer and assembly and production.
He's like, okay, so the reason why I mentioned this is one of the individuals in the chat, which is Comrade. He's actually one of the guys who interviewed One Tool Garage, and he had a very janky product in hand, but what I mean, like he essentially kind of baited people in with holding something in hand and showing people, hey, I got this in hand, and kind of getting people hyped so that they could continue, along with investments towards the project. You know what I mean? And then that's when he ultimately disappeared off the face of the planet.
He had no way of manufacturing. He had no manufacturing connection. We were that connection, Prior to us, he had no way of getting it made. We have connections established that will allow us and help us, get it done. We have the quotes. We have partnered with people that have the facilities. And it's a lot more developed than what he had going and had the community buy into.
Yeah.
Real quick here. You say he had no connections on getting it built. You guys had the connections, and you were working with him. And did he even come to you about getting it built, or did he just stop talking to you guys? He just ghosted you guys.
Yeah, he knew we had the capabilities. That's why he was willing to work with us, because we were gonna make it happen for him. So once we had to told him to pay up the design work and stuff. Sorry, we're losing. I don't think the outlet's working.
Yeah, something's not right.
He was right here. Comrade saying he had connections and vendors as well. So just
the vendors they.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll sign on with mine.
Oh, it's charging.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're good.
I feel you, Comrade. He definitely he spat in both of our faces, man. We definitely had to. I can't even imagine.
Well, this is why we're doing this. Is because you got fucked, Comrade got fucked. A lot of people out there got screwed. I know 3 people that went into the Kickstarter and didn't get anything out. That's why we're doing this, to see if. Well, not to see if you're legit, but it's just so the community can make that decision for themselves.
For sure.
You guys are being super transparent. I don't know how transparent the other guy was. I seen stuff about the car, and I was like, I wasn't about it. I thought it looked crappy.
Yeah.
But I've also looked at your Kickstarter page. Looks like you guys have done a lot to that car since. It looks a lot better.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask a question for the community here, and say, I'm going to bring this down and be like, this thing is amazing.
Yeah.
Is your product going to match up to the quality of this guy?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I would hope so.
I mean, I have that car myself. It's a good car. It doesn't scale well with. It does scale pretty decent with some action figures. But then again, it's made for Brat's dolls. But I mean, it is
Yeah,
made
bro.
by.
All you
I
gotta do is
will
move
say,
that seat forward, bro, and it
Well,
works
yeah,
out
you're right.
perfect.
I will say this: if the Kickstarter, and this is just me putting two and two together, if the Kickstarter is going to be like the max goal is like $720,000, that's close to $1 million, right?
How
So
many units is that?
I
It's only
would
3,980
3,891
units.
I'm just gonna say like I would assume that it's gonna be of that quality, right? Like if
Right.
you're paying a lot of money for it, right? So it's safe to assume. But ultimately, yeah, man, like I've had faith in the fact that you guys could pull this through. I hope that you guys can. And it reverts back to what I said, and I will stick to that 100%. You execute it, you guys will be the saving grace of the community. If it doesn't get executed and no one's money gets taken, at least people see that you guys tried hard, and that's just how it is.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like thinking about what happens if it doesn't go through yet. Like all my energy, all Eddie's energy is focused on this right here and just minute by minute making this happen. But we think the same thing, Redeemer. It's just like, well, at least they'll know we didn't rip anybody off at the end of it, and maybe we'll come back out the community with something smaller next time. Like I said, I really don't want to think about that. We haven't even hit. I think we have like 36 days, 37 days left to go. We get the prototype on Wednesday, and I think at the 30-day mark is when we really try to kick it into high gear, see if we can get on some other shows and stuff like that to have the car in hand, put characters in it, show people the features. I mean, we've got magnetic seats for adjustment. That's not cheap. We've got headlights, tail lights, a light up dashboard, doors open, trunk opens, engine is replaceable, swappable with future engines and a stock engine that we have coming with the car. We're hoping to have battle modifications if we reach a certain tier where, I was looking at it like a Fortnite model. Like these video games allow you the opportunity to kind of constantly upgrade and change your character. And we see that with the community and their 112 characters, just like infinitely different versions of certain characters. And it's like, wouldn't it be cool to do that with a car where it's designed into the car to be able to have these customizers do what they want with it, with an exploded view that comes with the car, decals that allow you to mask off and paint the car in kind of, like technical sections of the car, and just continually kind of make it your own. And at the same time, have high quality ABS plastic, soft tire for the, soft plastic for the wheels. I mean, I can kind of go on for days about it, but we're real proud of it, so.
Okay, right on. So let's open the floor to the community here. Let's let them ask some questions. And also, Comrade, if you want to come in, if you have some questions, you can hop in if you want. Just send an invite. I'll let you in, no problem. So let's see what we have here for questions. Here we go. Do you feel like the Kickstarter getting some traction? To what? It just says. I think he means also like
to fund.
Anyway,
getting some traction to fund. You guys feel like it's getting some traction to fund?
Yeah.
We had a really good initial first day with our OG guys who have been following us on the podcast. Oh, yeah. And, know the whole story just from our podcast and stuff like that. So, but, we knew it was going to be kind of an initial bump and then a slow burn. So we're really proud that the first day we hit almost 20,000 in backing. Right now we have 99 backers. I think we're at almost 30,000. So we definitely need a lot more momentum. But in our minds, we had never done a Kickstarter before, and we knew we were going to need a little bit of time to kind of, you're limited a little bit in what you can do with the pre-launch page. So we knew once we got into it, we were going to have some learning to do. And so we went for the 45-day one with the idea that we could in the 2 weeks before the 30 days of a normal Kickstarter, we could have our prototype in hand. We could learn what we need to do about the Kickstarter to make everything clear for everyone. And at that 30-day mark, we've got everything lined up to really start making a push to get it in front of people and go on an awareness campaign. But we also knew that this, especially as we got closer to the prototype and the Kickstarter, we knew that, we were going to have to kind of come back at this again and address it again. So, again, we appreciate the platform to be on here to tell our story once again. But we've tried to be nothing but transparent the whole time, knowing that, with the situation. I would encourage people to look at our YouTube channel where we've got about, several months of podcasts now. We've talked about it a couple of times. But, at the end of the day, Eddie and I know how to make toys. We both worked in the industry.
Or at least what it takes to make something. Or try to bring it to market at least.
Right. Obviously anything could happen. But we know the chain of events you need to do to get it to market. And so we've been really just trying to show people that we're serious by putting out, the steps we've gone to get this to market, it's nothing special. It's just the necessary steps you have to do to bring something to market and get it into individual people. So, yeah. We just been trying to tell our story as we go. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. What's the deadline for the Kickstarter? So like, how much time you guys have so that everyone can invest into this?
I think there's 37 days left.
January 9th is the last day.
Right.
At like 9 a.m. Pacific.
And we knew we were walking a tightrope with it, but, with the community, it really does come down to all these things lining up and the pressure to get it going, the pressure to get a physical model, all these kind of stars have to align. So, some people think we may have done it a little prematurely. I still think we're not even at our 30-day mark where we really have to get things going. So in my mind, we're right on track because, just looking at the need for one out in the community, if we can spread awareness and kind of hopefully at least quell the stigma we have with some people, we think that could help.
Okay, real quick here, while we answer this question from El Spacero, he says, I thought Kevin Martin was the one who created the car. And before you answer that, I'm going to let Real Comrade in here.
Kevin Martin.
Yeah, do you guys know anything about Kevin Martin?
Never heard of him.
Okay, maybe El Spacero can elaborate on that. What's up?
Yo.
What's up?
How we doing, man?
Vibing, man.
Trying to, just so you know, we're trying to get this done in about a half an hour
minutes.
here.
I'm gonna be like 5 minutes, bro. I ain't gonna take a lot of your time.
You can stick it out for the rest of this live if you want. Comrade, we've been nothing but cool forever, so it's all good with me. You're all good with us.
I saw the notification. I'm like, let me pop in here, man, see what they talking about. And I heard the car like 4 or 5 times. Almost busted my ass in the bathroom trying to figure out what y'all was talking about. So I'm like, let me listen closely, and then I'm like, nah, bro, like this sound like, but you guys, I don't know you guys, so from me, it's cool and everything, but I think it's very important that the people that are buying from you know the people you have done business with in prior. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of important. Mm-hmm. It's like you don't want to stray from that, because then when you don't talk about it and somebody finds out, they're like, yo.
Well, that's why we kind of went publicly and addressed it on like the podcast, and we're trying to do it here.
No, it's cool. You're gonna have to. It's like a single. You're gonna have to shop it around. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Let everybody know what's going on.
We've been told that. Yeah.
But honestly, I wouldn't come to something like this without a product. Like it's like I'm gonna make a sandwich, you guys. A sandwich gonna be busting, man. You know what I'm saying? Like your mama gonna love it. What a sandwich that. No, man,
well,
we got these ingredients.
to be fair, Real Comrade, they are going to have a product in hand, and I had scheduled this with them before they were going to have it, and they're going to have it in hand. They say Thursday, Wednesday or Thursday.
Wednesday.
And
I was hearing them talking about the product. Yeah, so like with that being said, because he made it seem like he was one person that knew a few people, and he just had a cash flow to facilitate this.
That's
You
what we
guys are,
all believed. Yeah.
yeah. So like I'm saying, if you guys were a part of this back then, like did you know to come out and talk about it? Was there a thing where you couldn't talk about it with other people and let them know that you was helping him, or because it seemed like he kind of took the whole thing on, and had we known there were other working parts or other people that we could reach out to, it wouldn't have been like a group of people that we were reaching out and saying, hey man, what's going on 112 Garage? You know what I'm saying? Like the word was a thing, like he was saying, like don't talk about it, guys.
Well,
I'm
no,
gonna.
we came on kind of late. If you go back to his original Instagram, it's only like, I don't know, 5-6 posts back from his last post that he ever made, that he announced that we started working together. From that point on is when we started working together.
Oh, y'all wasn't doing it from the beginning.
No.
So okay, so he was rocking with y'all when he already had a product, like a demo,
It
like
was
a.
already up on Big Bad Toy Store when we came on board.
Right. Okay. Cool. So you're not even part of
112 Garage at all.
the incubate. No,
No,
not
no.
saying it like
What?
that. I'm
What?
not. I'm
What?
not gonna say that. But
No.
you was a part of the incubation phases. You were just trying to help him get the product out.
Yeah.
Right. We had the
Yeah.
connection to
My
like
understanding.
manufacturing facilities, which he did not.
Got you. Okay. So he was saying he was talking about other larger corporations that he was linked with, that he was asking questions, and um, they were giving him ideas on how to roll it out. And then he showed me Amazon, and he showed me Big Bad, and I think Big Bad verified everything before Amazon did. And I was just explaining to him like, yo, you should just just show people what you're doing, so that they don't think that you're not doing, right by them. And he was getting death threats and all that stuff. Man, we're getting harassed. No cap. No cap. This nigga was getting death threats and everything, bro. Like, and he was depressed. I'm talking
I
about,
mean, that's why I talked to him during that period as well. And he looked like, he looked distraught, So that's,
he's trying to
it's
get
just been
restraining
all
orders on imaginary people because people got Instagram accounts and they ain't even their real names.
right.
So like, who you gonna get the restraining order? So like, you know, it could be that he was trying to execute this properly, and he just didn't have the wherewithal to follow through. And it could also be that, he just wanted to make a fool of himself and he just ducked out at the height of all of this. I highly don't believe the latter. I think something happened, but again, some people felt disappointed and they expressed it in different ways. I'm just saying with you guys, y'all should continue to talk around, and when you have the product, when you sell the sandwich, the word of mouth gonna do it, bro. Like you ain't even gotta do all this. People gonna be wanting to buy it. You don't even just 2, 3, 4, whatever. Look at 5K Toys. They sell very small quantities, and they cut it off. Y'all don't need all these people to do this. You know what I'm saying? But maybe you do want these people, but you don't need all that. You just need to do it. And then when you do it, then we gonna come. Like Redeemer said, we gonna buy it. But then at that point you produce more. But
right,
Yeah.
right now it just sounds
makes
like
sense, man.
we trying to drop a platinum album. Ain't no songs on deck yet. Come
Ain't
on
no
now.
song recorded.
No, but if we're invited to come on, we're gonna come on.
Yeah, no, yeah. When you sell a couple, go to a con, freaking show them people. You know what I'm saying? There's so many ways to do this, but being that you tied to homie, it kind of make it look weird. And I don't have no negative about y'all because y'all probably great people. But just hearing that, it's like, oh damn, bro, these boys let them man out to dry. But it ain't like that. Y'all say y'all came at the end. So that's all I wanted to talk about. Respect, blessings, bro. You talking to the right people. Redeemer will not let none slide, and Dead Man has definitely got the right intentions, bro. So I'm gonna let y'all boys gonna carry on, and I'm just gonna watch from this point. I appreciate you guys.
Thanks for coming on.
Thanks, comrade. Thanks for hopping in,
Bless,
and
bro, bless.
thanks for your insight on the matter. Because
Yeah, it's
kudos,
crazy.
bro. Thanks again.
I'm gonna share this live with some more people. All right.
Do that. Yeah, that'd be great.
All right, bet.
Hold it for a bit.
Okay. And real quick, we have a question from White Vegeta. He wants to know your realistic turnaround, assuming it funds. So he's saying if you guys fund completely and you're going to go into production, what's the turnaround? How long is it going to take for people to get this in their hands?
Saying if it funds by January 9th, last week we're waiting on a most recent updated schedule, but he quoted about 6 months is like realistically, like 6 to 7 months at the most.
So we're looking at July.
Yeah, and I've always said, well, at first I was saying first quarter of 23, but that was a while back, and we've had to make some changes to the car. We've added some stuff. We expanded the size a little bit, so you know, we weren't even going to Kickstarter back then. So wow, my lights
lost some light.
Oh, I stepped on it. My bad.
Oh no.
It is California.
Rolling blackouts.
Okay, so just to be clear, we're looking at July. If it saying it funds on January 9th. All right.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so we're gonna move on to the next question as soon as my questions load. El Space Oro, he's expanding on his. Kevin 3D Creations. He was told that was the guy that made the car in the first place. Was the guy that made it the first version of it?
Oh, that may be. That may be. Ours was never even up on the Big Bad Toy Store. Like they had another model before.
That original version, the Sendio version. He showed me that model, and then we redesigned that model from the ground up using that same model because we wanted to use a different one, but since it was already on Big Bad Toy Store, they said we need to stick with this version of the car. So we kind of revamped that car.
Right.
And we have side-by-side pictures, the ones he did and the original version versus the ones we produced.
This has nothing to do with what we're asking, but maybe it does. Maybe they only collect Mafex. You guys collect Mafex? You're going to have some Mafex figures to put in this thing when you have your production model in hand?
I don't have Mafex. I have Mezcos. I have Marvel Legends. I have G.I. Joes. I have some.
Oh, you can send it to me. I got a few Mafex. Send it to me.
I know a guy at Play Pix, Gary. I don't know if you guys know him. He has a bunch of Mafex. He lives 45 minutes from here. He's a decent photographer.
I don't want to go straight too far from what we're going up, but I will say nothing but good things about Gary from At Play Pix. That man is the reason why I am on Instagram.
That's
no kidding. No joke. He found me on Dial Structure on Facebook and was like, dude, you should start this Instagram shit. And here I am today because of that guy. And that guy, he had nothing but good things to say about you guys. All right, we got some more questions. Let's get them to load here. I don't know why they won't fucking load.
Yeah, police car, we're looking at that heavily, actually. Because for us, you know, going through
police car parts. Oh, I mean, we were thinking about making a whole police car, like, you know, a rival car for, like, we have a van developed, we have the Bandito developed, so we want to have like a rival police car, a rival little like SWAT vehicle.
We want to build in stories, so it's like if you can tell that story of the chase, you know, we just thought that's a cool idea. So the police car is definitely something we're looking at for sure.
Now,
somebody wants a police car with lights and sound.
I know.
What's up, Plannable?
I know the police car would be a great idea, but I know this isn't what we're talking. Really, and you get the police car done. The Mad Max vehicle.
Yeah. Someone asked
we think there's stuff we can do with the Bandito, actually, Mad Max style first. I mean, we want to kind of, you know, Frankenstein that thing. Once we get it going and we kind of have options, we want to invest back into tooling. It should be charged enough to unplug it for a little bit now, too. We want to invest in more tooling for options for further customizing it. So, like jacking up the back end, you know, doing something crazy with the doors, because you can, you know, the tooling on the doors is not like tooling an entire car. So that would be something we could invest in. And, you know, adding guns where the engine, you know, the engine's already swappable. So why couldn't we stick a big old gun in there? And that's what Johnny did for our battle modification, and bumpers and.
Okay. And real quick, before we get to this next question we have here, I was going to ask about the price point. Now, I know everybody out there knows that our action figures are getting up. They're getting up there. and your price is 180 at the base model. And now, real quick, was that wrong?
185. Sorry.
185. So that Bratz car was $35.
Yeah.
I understand that's a different thing. If they made more, obviously they made more of it because everybody in the fucking community's got one now, and they still have more for sale at fucking Amazon. So what I guess what I'm asking is, so if this goes to production next time around, production, is it going to be such a high price, or are you going to be able to bring it down?
Depends on the vehicle. I mean, if we make a motorcycle, or less.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I think you mean on the same car, right? So, like, what we did was basically what we did was we built in a formula for ourselves where we can cover the cost of production on each individual model. We can afford the tooling. And then at the same time, we can go business to business with, say, Amazon or
Big Bad Toy Store wants to buy it if it's funded.
And what we've got in is a big enough profit margin for them to come in at it, but still keep it under $200. So, like, if I come out with a car and say it's $150, I don't really leave room for the Big Bad Toy Store, and then except for them to jack up the price to over $200, which us as a company are really trying to keep it under the $200 mark, if that makes sense.
So, one thing I'm trying to also understand is, like, I know we're not Mayfix or we're not making figures, but action figure is going to cost you $80, $90, $100. Like, I mean, what do you guys expect to pay for a car that's kind of like,
Well, and I think we designed it for those characters.
Right.
So
it's designed
I don't know how many parts that the Bratz mobile has to have manufactured, but our vehicle is 76 pieces total plus electronics. I don't know what plastics they use and stuff like that. I'm assuming, it's good quality.
Right.
MGA is a good, they're good company. But like I said, I don't know how many parts they have. We designed it for high-end photography, and for us the price worked out as a realistic way to get it done. And not have to go back at the community and say, oh, we didn't do our numbers right, we didn't buffer this enough, or petroleum costs went up 20% from when we were designing it to now. So we had to build in a little bit of buffer zone with everything along the way to be able to realistically make it happen and not come back 6 months later and say, oh, you know what, we spent everything on tooling and now we need to start a fundraiser to actually get it to you. We wanted to have the entire package.
So Sci-Fi guy, he had asked, this is for, I guess, on the more gray side of things. He said, if it doesn't fund, will you try again later with lesser units so you'll reach your Kickstarter goal more quickly? Is that even a possibility?
We definitely would have to do a little bit of a price point, a bigger price point. Not too huge, but it does change manufacturing costs and stuff like that. So, but we are not going to give up on the car. I just don't want to say that right now because I really want everybody's energy to go towards the Kickstarter, especially after the 30-day mark when we've got the prototype. But I mean, if you guys knew Eddie and I, we don't quit as like anything. I mean, we wouldn't be here right now if
I mean,
well, it doesn't necessarily.
I get the point, smaller quantities, but the point of the Kickstarter is to help fund the tooling. The tooling is the expensive part. If we had the units, they'd be already up on Big Bad Toy Store.
That's right.
Yeah, no, but so like seeing it because it's not necessarily a negative thing that they are or anyone asks it. Because I get what you're saying. You want to just have the positive energy put towards. You don't want nothing, no negative energy lingering. But it's not negative. It's just more like they just, in a sense, will there be a contingency? Because if at the end of the day, let's say in a scenario, because I think a mile a minute. So in a scenario where you guys don't happen to fund it and you guys still get back up and try to fund it in smaller quantities, at the very least in that spectrum, in that portrait, you guys don't look like quitters. You guys look like you're still fighting the good fight. That's, so it's never a negative thing. It's just, it's a peace of mind for anyone, because it's also, you know, answering questions for the positive, but also answering questions for the skeptical. You know, and those.
Well, I mean, and on top of answering question for the skeptical, you have to understand you don't want any of this negative energy, but there's already negative energy. That's, you know.
I don't mean negative energy, like no negative energy towards us or anything like that. What I mean is, for myself, thinking about Kickstarter, I just personally stay focused on being positive and focused on the Kickstarter being successful. I didn't mean that there would be no negativity. We're big guys. We can handle it.
All right.
I meant personally for myself, I don't want to derail my focus from the Kickstarter until I have to and it's over and it didn't work.
No, it makes perfect sense, you know, because at the same time, like, you know, like the saying goes, negativity breeds that, you know, if you think too much of it, it eventually, you know, it can happen, right? So you don't want to put your mind in there. That's totally understandable.
I have a limited time to do the Kickstarter. I just want to stay focused on that for now. Yeah.
Right on. Well, I think I'm going to end this live here really soon. Because I just wanted to go an hour. We've been about an hour. I want to thank you guys for coming on. When you guys come back with your prototype in hand, would you like to go live with Toymerks again to do that?
100%.
Okay, we can make that happen. We'll talk about that. And Comrade is right. It's about execution at this point. Yeah. That's it. It is 100%. If you guys don't make your goal, I hope you do. I mean,
we'll be at Designer Con. You know, next when is it? When do they have next December? I think next November. Happened, you know, they have Designer Con here all the time. So.
Yes, real comrade. This room is hotter than a fucking pair of Brazilian titties. But also, I do know there's something else happening at 6 o'clock that I don't want to compete with. I'm trying to coexist here, so that's why I'm trying to get off here.
100%.
Trying to coexist, not compete. So, anyhow, I want to thank all of you for joining. Thank you, Redeemer. Thank you, Oddfrog Entertainment. And it's up to you guys. You guys are the community, you know. This is all on you right now. Whether this car gets made or not, it's up to you guys.
That's right.
You know, this isn't on us. This isn't on Redeemer. It's not even on them. They're just trying to do it. It's up to you guys whether it gets done or not. And it's also up to, go ahead.
Responsibility too. There's a lot of work to do as far as doing the marketing and campaigning. We understand that, and you know, Eddie and I are devoted to this every single day, as long as the Kickstarter's alive. So we don't want to. Yes, we want everybody is on us as well. Yeah.
Well,
all right.
We have Meta, Legends, Joe's.
Right on. So give me a little bit when we get off here. I'll talk to you guys privately after this, and we'll figure out how and when you want to show the production model and whatnot. We'll talk about that differently. I want to thank you again, Redeemer, for coming on. I really appreciated your insight on this, and you really helped out a lot. Thank you again, Oddfrog Entertainment, for keeping it together, even though our fourth person wasn't able to make it, and you guys had to do it together. But that shows something in itself, I think. So anyway, have a good one, guys. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Dad, man. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Peace,
bye.
Y'all.
Thank you for tuning in to the Oddfrog Chop Shop podcast. This episode is brought to you by MLCVoice.com and OddFrogEntertainment.com. Theme music is Burlesque Heartache by RKVC. Please remember to rate and subscribe. Until next time, keep creating and keep playing.